with a superficial introduction to reliability concepts, it's very easy for the leader to come back from a conference or from reading a book or from a seminar or an email. It's very easy for them to say, hey, all I got to do is increase planned work at my sites and great things will result. It's very easy to do that. Come to that conclusion. You know, it's easy to calculate. It's a measure of my plant's efficiency. And it prevents unplanned work if you do planned work. You know, hey, I get it. Leaders go back to their plants and say, I want the planned work KPI at 90%. If it's not at 90% any given week, I want you on the phone telling me why you couldn't do it. Is this a great challenge or not? This is Joe Kuhn of Lean Driven Reliability, bridging the gap between best practices that you know you should be doing at your plant and the reality that you live every day in your plant. My answer, no. This can actually be a horrible directive from top management. Horrible. Most often it is. Here's why. Let me give you an example of what happens in a plant. Okay, I got 4 departments here. The red is current state. The blue is the target state, the action that happens as a result of that directive. Okay, department number 1 has 20 mechanics. I'm just going to use mechanics just to make the explanation simpler. You can make it 10 and 10, electricians and mechanics, whatever. But you got 20 mechanics. You got 10 assigned to planned work, 10 assigned to unplanned work. 50% planned work. Not a good number based on world class, right? Okay, that manager of that department changes it to 18 planned and 2 unplanned. Just makes that change. And what they do to make that happen is they add hours to the planned job. So if a planned job was for 4 hours, they make it 8 hours. They just change it, make it 8 hours. And so these people are doing the unplanned work and they pull these people off to support as necessary. Okay? So that's one way of doing it. And now you have 18 and 2. Look at that dramatic change you made in the planned work KPI. Department 2, you got 20 mechanics. You got 10 mechanics doing planned work. You got 5 doing planned work that it's in a permanent assignment, like you assign them 40 hours a week to work on bearings or to weld some structure or to rebuild pumps. You just assign them there and don't plan their work, just whatever hours they got, they're working in that area. And then you got 5 doing unplanned work. You change that to, you still have the same 10 planned, but then you increase the permanent assignments to 8, and the unplanned goes down to 2. And then what you do is you pull off of those permanent assignments as necessary. If it gets where these guys can't handle the workload, what you do is just pull them off and still charge them to the work order, 40 hours a week doing planned work. Department 3, 10 mechanics, 6 doing planned work and 4 being unplanned work. That's current state. You switch that to 8 and 2. Okay, what you do in this department is you pull the 8 as needed, but you also pull from the PDM team. You know, you got an 8-person PDM team doing predictive work, doing problem-solving work, but you say, hey, we're going to pull them off to get that unplanned work done. Department number 4, the 10 mechanics, 4 doing planned work, 6 doing unplanned. You switch that to 8 and 2, and what you do is you add to daily inspection routes that you already have in place. You just document that a little better and call that percentage planned work by them doing the inspection routes that they were already doing. Okay. The KPIs, therefore, on this side, the planned work, assuming no overtime, the planned work is actually 50%. The planned work over here is 87%. You went from 50 to 87% planned work. What were the actual business impacts of making that change? One, PDM actually goes down. You actually reduce predictive maintenance work. In reality, the metric stays the same because you're pulling them off, right, to do unplanned work, and then they're going back. The CMMS KPIs are wrong. So it's preventing problem solving. You're not generating work orders for the unplanned work, so the KPIs inside the CMS Bogus. Can't use it for problem solving. Waste is introduced into planned jobs. What message does that say to the organization when a job that used to take me 4 hours, you now assign it for 6, 7, or 8? You introduce waste into the job. So when you're planning for next week, you just got this, you got your thumb on the scale. Waste is hidden, and you're lying to yourself about where the waste is in your organization. The 50% unplanned work was telling you that there's waste in the system, and now you've hidden that by saying it's 87. Bad management decisions are enabled. You know, if you're at 87% unplanned work and then a new business opportunity to sell 10, 15% more product comes up, you think you're pretty good. You're world class, right? You're world class, when really you're not. You've got significant opportunity if you open your eyes to see it. I wish I was making this up. I use these 4 examples because I've seen them around the globe. More often, I see these more often than I don't see them, folks. A planned work KPI of 50% points you in the direction of waste. But the actual KPI is not what needs to be fixed. You need to fix the waste in your organization. How do you fix the waste? You got to know current state. How do you know current state? You know the answer to this. Chalk circle observation. KPIs are the start. You know, examples. Hey, what was really going on at these plants? And these are real, folks. What was really going on? Number 1, we weren't doing precision maintenance. That's why the unplanned work was so high. We weren't aligning our shafts. And we were the unplanned work was coming. The root cause was we did not do precision maintenance on our shaft balancing. Ridge time's actually only 12% here. You know, we're not getting all the planned work done because we didn't have enough planners, we didn't have a kidder, didn't have a stager, and the job plans were wrong. Had nothing to do with, you know, where we assigned manpower. It had to do with our system that people were working in. Make sense? PDM was finding anomalies. We were finding anomalies with PDM, but they weren't making it on the schedule because we weren't getting the PMs done every week. So the PDM anomalies that were found, we never fixed them, and it went to final failure. Operations, the 4th thing, operations kept canceling outages. So the planned work wasn't getting done because we were canceling planned jobs during the outages. Okay? So all those things were the root cause in the waste that can make dramatic changes in the business, but you just hit it all. You force the organization to hide the waste. Going after the waste can fundamentally change your business. KPIs are a great mile marker, especially for mature organizations. Very mature, reliability organizations, it can work. For the 95% of you, which is virtually, you know, consider yourself in this category, managing the KPIs leads to bad things. You've got to find the waste in your organization. You find it by knowing current state, and the action you take is chalk circle observation. Eliminating waste, folks. It's a simple concept and a game changer. You've got to get this. It's not about the KPIs and improving the KPIs. It's about knowing your waste. Hey, folks, begin your journey. If I can help you in any way, drop me an email, reply to a comment on LinkedIn or on YouTube. I guarantee I can shave years off your deployment. Joe out.